Hi, I'm Bryce Martin with LG Seeds, Sales Account Manager here in southeastern Indiana. Here we're in the town of Hope with the premier dealer, Will Swope. This year we're going to highlight this 20-acre patch. Going to follow it all the way from planting season and follow it throughout the growing year. And Will's going to give us a little details on the field and what we're going to place on this particular soil type.
Thanks, Bryce.
Yep.
We've got about 28 tillable acres here of Crosby silty clay loam and a little bit of a Williamstown silt loam soil type. As you can see, I had cover crop on it last fall, winter time frame, and cereal rye, about 50 pound to the acre, just to try to help hold the soil from erosion and stuff throughout the winter and the wet spring months. And also trying to get some nutrients maybe scavenged up that was left behind from the previous year's soybean crop. As Bryce said, we're going to be featuring this field throughout the year. We're going to try to do a video once a month from start to finish. So it is April the 17th today. Obviously there's nothing planted, nothing's been done except the cover crop's been burnt down. So we're going to feature this field. Hybrid selection with the Mix Makers tool was 5643, so that's the hybrid that we're going to place on this. The fertility on this ground is the phosphate levels are medium to high range. The potassium levels are high to very high range, so we've got a really good base fertility here. Organic matter wise, we're right there about that 2% across the whole soil type profile. So not anything stellar, but not anything at the bottom of the barrel either. So it's just kind of a good field that it does have moderate tile. It is pattern tiled, but not like every 30 or 40 feet. It's about every 60 foot. So we got good drainage. It does have some roll and some pitch to it also. Will help the water get away from it faster. So we got really good drainage and really good soil types for our area to really push this 5643 to kind of show you guys the potential of AgriLiant genetics and also show you the partnership between us, meaning the Star Partners as your dealer, and with the team members from LG. So tune in with us once a month, and we're gonna kind of keep you guys informed and hope you guys can watch and enjoy with us as the field progresses. And if Mother Nature holds out and everything works out, we'll have an NCGA competition entry.
So the Mix Matters tool that Will and I talked about earlier is an online hybrid placement tool that helps simplify product placement on a field-by-field basis and helps keep record keeping to a much easier minimum. Placement is based on a number of factors, one being management practices of the entire farm, as well as field soil types and Weather Trends 360 predictive analysis, which we'll get into a little bit later on the program. This can be downloaded in a number of ways. If you have an Android or smartphone, you can download by going to the App Store, or you can go online at mixmatterstool.com, and it'll look something similar to what we have projected on the screen here. So let's go ahead and jump into the first part of this, which is field management, and the questions that are asked by the grower to help narrow down their management practices. So the first screen here is the corn farm yield. As you can see, it automatically populates according to your zip code to the 5-year county average. Will is going to shoot for 250 for corn, 250 bushels the acre. So then moving forward, corn trait selection, most guys in the area are going to just be using above ground protection. There is some conventional and above and below ground, but for what Will and their farm are doing, we're going to be selecting above ground. Corn tillage, this is minimal till that they practice on their farm, just coming through with a vertical tillage tool to help scrape that surface, warm that soil up, and to help get consistent, even emergence, which is key. Corn maturity, most guys will be hitting that 110 to 118 day maturity. Once again, this is on a per farm basis. So if you're not comfortable going that far or going that late, you may be in that 109 to 105 day. The corn nitrogen management piece typically has been last application before V6, with a 2x2 being put on with the planter and a side dress coming in with 28 before V6. But this year they're going to mix it up, and we want to put the last application after V6 as they will be trying wide dropping. The total pounds of N we're going to put to 250 because traditionally we're looking at a pound of nitrogen per bushel. So we have moved that to 250. And also, they do spread some nitrogen in the fall. This is taking into account that and what is coming in previous crop residue and organic matter. Corn fungicide use, there's always an application on Will's farm, just because they see way too many plant health benefits, as well as great standability and overall yield protection in a heavy disease year. Tile drainage will be moderate tile drainage for their farm. Irrigation, no irrigation. Green snap is of low concern in their area. So then this downloads all that information. So here we are in field selection. The field that we were in previously is right here. We'll go ahead and click on that field. So here we have the field that we were in previously selected. Once again, it lists all the management practices that we talked about earlier. And here's a neat thing that you can select on a field by field level. Let's say you want to do this field in 110 to 115 day, or you wanted to have smart stacks on this field above and below ground protection because there was rootworm issues. You could do that here. Or let's say you did have a pattern tiled field or it was irrigated, you could select on a field by field basis. So that's the neat thing that we can incorporate. So here on this screen, we can see all the fields that we have selected and planned for as far as our corn soybean rotation. We'll go from here to continue to seed insights. Let it load here for a second. And it will give us the top 3 hybrids that it suggests per field. And then from there, we can see how many units that will be needed per field based on the amount of acres. So just like we predicted, Syme South 5643, 114 day relative maturity at a planting rate of 30,000. 11 units is what it has forecasted. It gave us a second option, 5650. So, all right, and with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our Weather Trends 360 analysis and our Advantage Acre platform to show you how our planning and management practices may be altered due to the upcoming weather forecast, and just go ahead and show you how we plan back in January for the upcoming growing year. So here we are on our Advantage Acre platform. We are on Will Swope's profile. What we will do is scroll down to find the field that we were highlighting earlier at 29 acres. And from here, we have already input a planting date, a tentative planting date of May 3rd. The neat thing about this is we can tinker with this planting date going all the way back to the fall. We can look in the fall of 2020 and kind of get a tentative plan put together, or more so likely in the winter time. But here we will click on these tabs: temperature, precip, growth stage, and we can even highlight GDUs, degree days, that we'll talk about a little bit later. But here we have a tentative planting date of May 3rd with emergence looking to be May 10th. This is kind of neat. Just see that we're going to have some heat coming in. Really want to see 120 GDUs to emergence. And we can tinker with this planting date. Like I said, we can go back in April. We can see when it's going to tassel. Here on a May 3rd planting day, we're looking at tassel right around July 2nd, and ample rainfall coming in that week, looking like 2 inches, a little bit more than 2 inches, 2 1/10. So that's kind of a neat thing that we can do with our different planting dates. Like I said, we can start planting back in January if we really want to. And we'll look at different planting windows as well. As you can see, we can highlight how much rain we're going to have on a per week basis. This won't give you a day specific, but it looks like here on going into the 3rd to 4th week of May, we'll have 1 inch and almost 5/10. So it's kind of a neat little planning window that we can use. And then, like I said, the growth stages are neat to follow all the way throughout the year. Like I said, tassel coming in on July 2nd. If we move the planting date back to April, we might have tassel right at the end of June. And then we can follow this 11 months out. This is through Weather Trends 360. We can see R6 coming in on September 2nd. So we can kind of plan our harvest windows as well. V5 looking right around May 3rd, growing point moving from below ground to above ground. And then also talk about fungicide applications right around this window. We can see when rain's coming in and kind of put a plan together for when we can roughly get in the field to start these fungicide applications. So another neat thing I mentioned about was the degree units. Some guys like to track these and record them, do the math by hand. This is automatic calculation for you, as well as a predictive analysis. Looking at just around R2, 1680 GDUs on July 18th. So it's kind of a neat little predictive analysis to see where we're going to end up at the end of the year. The heat and precipes I kind of went over, but really doesn't look to be too hot of a summer here in Hope, Indiana, which is going to be a nice thing. We can kind of track that as well along the way. And the real neat thing about this app is this is on a field-by-field basis. So let's say I have a field a little bit north of here. They're going to predict a different amount of precip if that is what they foresee coming in. But anyway, kind of just like to give a brief overview of our Advantage Acre platform and how this can be useful in many of your guys' operations and farms. And this is all at your disposal. We're happy to set you guys up with these accounts. And like I said, just want to give you a brief overview and appreciate you jumping on. If you have any questions, please post them below, and Will and I will be happy to answer them. So glad that you guys are jumping on, and look forward to you guys following us throughout the year. We appreciate it. Thank you.